I'm Victoria, Marketing and Branding Director, Build a Dream.
And welcome to our first Facebook Live episode, and it's Monday Motivation.
So we wanted to welcome you all. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below and we'll be able to answer those as we go. If you're watching this in a replay, still leave a comment and we'll answer you after.
So one of the things that we really wanted to do during so much uncertainty and difficult times is create something a little bit more positive to highlight what's motivating us and how we're staying motivated at Build a Dream, and how we keep moving our mission along through so much uncertainty and challenges going on all around us across different communities. So we've launched Monday Motivation, and then throughout the week, we'll have different guests on the live Facebook just to touch base with some of our partners, some of the female role models that inspire us, and some of our community partners doing some amazing work.
Okay, so what are we doing? So we have a lot of projects going on. As you probably know, we had to postpone our live events, and so we had to pivot. So what we are doing is we're working on a digital career discovery expo that families will be able to participate in from home. We'll still have a lot of the elements that we do in a live event and some interactivity, and that'll be delivered at the end of May. And we're also working on some other digital tools that families can access. So regardless of where we are further along in the spring and summer, you'll still be able to work on your career exploration from home.
One of the other things that we're also launching is finally our Dare to Dream podcast. At Build a Dream, we hear so many inspiring and amazing stories that have really inspired our Build a Dream journey and helped us build some really cool programs and services throughout the years. And we thought, how amazing would it be to share these stories with all of our followers, all of our supporters, and provide some insight for others to learn about what companies are doing to diversify their workforce, learn how females have entered different career pathways and what advice they have for others looking to pursue those pathways, and just really talk about the great initiatives happening across Canada that's really touching on getting more women into male-dominated industries. So the Dare to Dream podcast will be going live next week. So we're just in the process of interviewing some really cool guests. If you are interested in doing an interview with us, just shoot us an email. We will provide our email at the end of this episode, and we'd love to hear from you if you have a great story to share.
Awesome. So what we wanted to talk about is how we're staying motivated. We know that this has been a big transition for a lot of people, and everything's so different, and there's a lot of negativity out there. So how do we keep going, and how do we move forward with that? One thing our team did was right away, we implemented some digital tools so that we could meet regularly. Some of it's text-based, but some of it's face-to-face, checking in with the team. And then we're letting us know if anyone had concerns or issues, if anyone needs a mental break, that we have the opportunity to do that. And, you know, part of the challenge is for many of us working from home while our children are home, while other people are in the house as well. So we wanted to talk about things like that. Let everybody know you're not alone. You're not the only parent that's trying to juggle multiple things. We know there's a lot of parents who are leaving the home to go to work, leaving their children at home, and coming home and trying to create some balance. So we posted a blog post today with some tips. It's not easy, and just everybody needs to keep that in mind. It's not easy, and it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay, because we're all trying to figure this out, and different things are going to work for different homes. So just know that there's support out there if you need it. Look to us, look to others, and just keep in touch with people, but know that everybody's going through these transitions.
Yeah, the blog post was really helpful, and I love the part that you talked about, like, you don't have to be perfect. Just creating a balance, a routine, a schedule, and even if it doesn't work, that's okay, because every day is going to look a little bit different. And what I really felt inspired by our own team is our ability to recognize that there are a lot of times of uncertainty, but we've been able to really build a close relationship in the midst of all these challenges, especially having a new hire, Maya, that started the same week that the pandemic was announced, and her being able to fit in quite well with the team as we all work remotely, being very open to feedback, and being open to coming up with different ideas. Some may work, some may not, and that's okay as well. That nothing needs to be perfect, and touching base not only about work, but about how we're feeling and how we're doing. And I feel that that's really important. And one of the things I've loved watching over the last week is everyone's working from home story, because I know I have a 2-year-old at home. He's almost 2. And it's been a little bit challenging working from home with the 2-year-old who constantly needs to be entertained. And both my husband and I are working from home. So being able to be okay also if I'm on a conference call and then Adam runs into the room because he needs my attention, and everyone being very empathetic and understanding of how we're all trying to balance our professional life with our personal life, and still coping with all the challenges. And I know that that could weigh on many of us, and knowing that we can lean on each other and count on each other and still laugh throughout the day. I love that about the Dream Team, and we love supporting each other through these times.
I just have a question here about the blog post. We'll add it in the comments. And if anyone needs anything, a lot of the resources are always on our website.
Well, we appreciate the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship program from the Waterloo Regional District School Board joining us for our first Facebook Live. So thank you for joining us and also asking a question. They're one of our amazing supporters in Kitchener-Waterloo. I've personally received some great support from one of their OYAP coordinators, David Pope, which Vicky, you know, he spent some time with us brainstorming some really creative ideas. And honestly, through this time, it's been amazing how many people I've been able to call on to let them know some of the challenges we were facing, especially with canceling 6 events across Canada. Our first event outside of the province of Ontario. It was a difficult decision, but it was a very important decision to ensure the safety and health of everyone. But to be able to count on all of our community supporters, our educational partners, our sponsors, our employers, has been phenomenal to see how everyone's coming together to really keep the mission alive, but to ensure that we have the support we need to keep the movement going.
Yeah, and that's a really great segue into the next question, is who's inspiring us? Everyone we've talked to has said, what do you need? How can we help? We have people who want to volunteer, and a lot of our exhibitors offering to help, and our sponsors as well. 𝐻𝐸 have been extremely supportive throughout this. Next Dimension came to us and said, okay, if you're going to do tech, if you're going to do something online, how can we help you? What can we provide? Anything you need. And then in part of that conversation, Ellis Dawn jumped right in and said, yes, we can support that. You want to do something big, do something digital. We can be there for you. We can provide some resources to help you execute that. So it's been a great time to see that a lot of people are willing to keep things going, even though there's been some barriers. And a lot of people are willing to pivot and provide whatever's needed just so that we can execute that for our audience.
And just to even add to that, Vicki, I know you can also really, when we spoke to Noah Campbell from the University of Windsor, who just hosted their first digital conference with WinHacks, and it was a huge success. In the midst of him organizing his own conference, he got on the phone with Vicki and I to help guide us through how to run our first own digital conference. And then he also provided us some tools that we could use, and then also decided to order some of our swag to give to some of their attendees. And all of our swags, we're wearing some of our shirts right now. I'm gonna just stand up to show you our Dreamer shirts. And we're both wearing the same shirt. But all of our swags on our Dream Shop, 100% of the proceeds go back to our organization. Oh, there's another picture of the Bossy Leader shirt. So for Noah Campbell to call us after helping us come up with some tools and resources to host our first digital conference and making himself available, and then also offering to order a significant amount of our swag to give to his attendees, is just such a huge sign of the amount of support we've been receiving from so many people, which has inspired me to keep this going, and I'm very actually excited that we're finally going to host a digital conference. Vicki, you and I have talked so many times about wanting to take some of our resources online and do more of a digital, digital resources so that families can have things that they could tap into at home, especially in communities that we're not able to host our Build a Dream event. So we find that it's really important to be able to provide these services and programs and this information to everyone. So now being able to pilot our first digital conference is going to be really exciting, because if this works out, which I'm sure it will, we'll be able to provide more of it throughout the year.
Yeah, it'll be a great resource to have online, as you were mentioned, for some of those remote regions that we can't get to with our full expos, for them to still be able to access the professionals that we interview and women who share their daily lives. It's great to be able to access those videos and other tools so that you can do some of that exploration, even if you're not in a big city.
So Vicki, when you think of all that's happened in the last couple of weeks, this is our third week working remotely. What do you feel has been the greatest lesson you've learned in the last 3 weeks?
Giving yourself time. It's hard to make that pivot immediately. I know we talked about not being perfect, allowing yourself to make mistakes, or, okay, day one, this didn't work, and tomorrow I'm gonna figure something else out. And just learning who's really there for you, who's being very supportive. A lot of people like calling us and checking in, and I have my best friend plays games with my children online for a couple hours a day, and that keeps them, they're really excited to have someone interacting with them, and that also allows me to do some work. So being very thankful for that and learning that there's ways around it, and sometimes it takes us a while to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. That's really true. Like, I feel like one of the biggest lessons I've learned is certain things that seem complicated or really hard to navigate, like a lot of the digital resources we've been using to do the work that we have been doing in the last couple of weeks. Prior to this, I used to always think, oh my gosh, it's going to take me forever to learn these tools. I just don't have the time. It's going to take too long. And now getting really comfortable in using some of those tools and realizing that it actually makes some of my work a little bit more effective. And being able to walk each other through those learning curves has been absolutely amazing. And then watching myself along with some of the team get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Because there's been many times I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to use that, or I don't know if it's going to work, but let's give it a try, because we truly have nothing to lose, because we're all in it for the right reasons. And I think at the end, if we all walk out of this feeling a little more inspired, motivated, and got through the most difficult times, I think that to me would be a huge success. It definitely does not have to be perfect. And that's why I constantly encourage the whole team to be okay with making mistakes, to come up with new ideas, because this is our time to really test things out. And knowing that we're all working towards the same goal, and truly feel inspired by the amazing stories that we hear from women that are out there working in the industry still. I shared today a post about Delaney from the Carpenters Union. You know, Delaney, she graduated from high school 2 years ago, and she's been working with the Carpenters Union, and she hasn't had a day off. The construction industry is an essential service. So having people like Delaney touch base with me during this time to tell me how they're doing also has shown me that people don't expect us to even be perfect. They just expect us to be there and to keep the message going. And I think that gives me great confidence that we're on the right track.
Yeah, and I know some parents, if you want to give us feedback, if you're a parent of a teenager right now, it's probably really difficult, because we know they're used to hanging out with their friends, and this is a really big change for them. If you can take the opportunity to include them in a project in the home, if you're trying to get a small project done, see if they want to jump in and help out. Use that to try and launch a conversation about their career. We know it's not always easy to start those conversations, so just look for some little things that could maybe spark some kind of interest or talk. And we'll be posting a lot more for digital tools that are available, but there's a lot right now of great museums and things you can tour, and national parks and things, and they have a big STEM tie-in. So see if any of those spark some ideas or conversations that you can have.
And speaking of what input parents can have, what are some things that parents can look forward to when we launch our digital conference? What are some of the things we're working on?
Yeah, for sure. If you want to go to our website, there's a contact form there. We'll put it at the end of this video as well, or just email info@webuildadream.com. If there's certain things that you want to see, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for what will make these conversations easier for you, what makes career planning easier for you. Even like just random questions. If you're like, I just don't know where to start, just get in touch and we'll see what we can provide.
We're gonna, part of the digital conferences, which I know we might have touched on it a little bit, we are going to feature a panel of females from different backgrounds. So our 5 pillars that Build a Dream focuses on is the skilled trades, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, emergency response, and entrepreneurship. And our 5th pillar is advancing women in society. So we profile women in leadership roles and athletics, areas where women are significantly underrepresented, but is of great value to having more at the table, more females at the table. So we'll have a dynamic panel of different females from different backgrounds that will share their career journey, some of the challenges, some of the successes, and be able to answer questions live during our conference. We're also going to showcase some of these great virtual tours that we've been collecting over the last couple of weeks, so that families in the comfort of their own home can see the different companies and the type of roles that young women could apply to. And we're also going to feature some of the programs that young women can access in high school to continue their career exploration. We understand that right now schools are out and they may probably be out for a little while. So we want to ensure to collect as much resources and tools so that we can help guide young women through those pathways. And we also have some great video testimonials from women who have shared their career journey with us that we'll be featuring on our website. And shortly after the digital conference that's going to be happening at the end of May, we will have a digital career guide available to families. So we'd love to hear from you to know what you would like to see in those career guides. How can we help you help your daughter explore these different career pathways? What types of information would you find helpful? What types of questions do you find will make the career discovery journey much easier? And what resources do you need access to in order to support your daughter's career choices?
For sure. And if you know anyone that you think would make a great dream maker to share their story, we're going to be doing more Facebook Lives. As Noor mentioned, we're going to be doing the podcast. We'll post the information below so that you can send that to them and say, hey, share your story, tell other people what your career's like and how to get involved.
So Vicky, I know that this was something we just decided on in the last week. So this is our first Facebook Live. Is there anything else we want to share with our viewers?
Just that we're here. We're not physically in the office right now, but if you want to get in touch, if you're still looking for resources, if you have resources to offer, if you're a company who needs to know how to pivot or how to recruit when traditional measures aren't working right now, we're still available for that. Also, our online store is still open. We're shipping out once a week. We take precautions when we do so. So that's one way you could still support us. If you need to support us, share our information on social media, buy products from the store. We have some great shirts. We have a lot of different ones with great photos. You can see those online. In a variety of sizes as well. We have junior fit and regular fit. So that's one way that you could continue to support us, even though we're not going to be meeting face to face for a while.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've been saying since this all started is the only way forward is together. So I do want to thank all the essential services that are keeping communities going, from our healthcare workers, our emergency response teams, to the grocery clerks, to all the small businesses trying to stay afloat and trying to stay open to service our community. I just want to thank you wholeheartedly. For those that don't know, I had left my full-time position at the University of Windsor shortly before the pandemic was announced, and then having to go into a full-time role at Build a Dream as the president and leading a small not-for-profit organization has had many challenging times. But the thing that keeps me moving forward is the amazing team that is part of Build a Dream, and just the amount of community support and the ability to be okay for asking for help, because truly there's so much I didn't know going into this, and I've received so much support along the way. And we want to return that favor. So for anyone that is looking for advice or support, if you want to come on live with us, please send us a message, inbox us. We'd love to profile your company as well and talk about some of the things that you're doing during this pandemic, because truly we are a community. And I think that the only way we're going to be moving forward is if we count on each other and try to spread as much positivity as possible during these difficult times.
Yeah, and if you see those positive stories, tag us. Cavalier Tool has pivoted. They're making medical equipment. Ellis Don, their employees are raising money and delivering food to medical workers. If you see those stories, tag Build a Dream. We love sharing all of the positive things the people in these industries are doing just to support or to keep their businesses going. We have to get creative right now, and we love sharing how people are doing that together.
Amazing. Well, that's it for now from me. I don't know, Vicki, if you have anything else to add.
No, that's it. Just if you go to our website at webuildadream.com, you can see a link to our shop. You can see a link to our blog. Everything that we're doing is on there. As we update, we'll update the website as well. So visit that or follow us on the different social channels to see what we're up to each day.
Thank you so much, and thanks for being patient with us as we launch our first Facebook Live. We look forward to coming on every day to let you know some new news, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.